So Gandhi took a couple of wrong decisions. Number one, his decision to support Khilafat movement was, I think, absolutely wrong.
Did you watch Kamal Hassan's Hey Ram?
So my focus is very different. Kamal Hassan's film had a very different. You make bad cinema, you'll change society into a bad society. I look at independence, partition of India very differently than today's generation, which doesn't even care. The reason of India's partition was politics, not the people of India. These young children, they go on the border, they learn how to make bombs and they come back. Then they join the party. They are called Tolabaj in Bengal. And also in India, a common citizen does not have right to life, dignity of life or value of life. In the hierarchy, dogs come first, Indians came. During Mughal period also, they could have killed anybody, hang anybody, Bhagat Singh or anybody. So nobody had any right to life. Film on Islamic history or Christian history intellectually. But Hindu history I can make actually.
Mritu towels from Ramraj, premium cotton and bamboo towels. Super soft, super absorbent.
Darling, mobile ullagin superstar.
INDICUS Photo Durable Exterior Paint with Duro Color Technology.
Let's talk about the trailer. Why did you choose to begin your trailer with this particular the thing in the present? Like as opposed to, because this is a story that takes place in the past, what is that, your idea of putting that bit in the present about this boy named Taimur and you...
The reason is, I'll tell you, the reason is that the film studies, okay, that the communal violence and politics for which we got partition, okay, and it makes me very sad about partition. If it doesn't evoke any emotion in somebody else, I don't care, because both my parents were freedom fighters and they sacrificed a lot for the country and they were actually there in Direct Action Day, okay. My mother got married when she was 17 and she was stuck in Direct Action Day and they had to leave. They were jailed for many, many years, you know. So I look at independence, partition of India very differently than today's generation, which doesn't even care. Partition is a very sad commentary on humanity and the way it was handled by the politicians. The reason of India's partition was politics, not the people of India. Okay? Hindu Muslims were living for 1,000 years together, fighting, fine, okay, but they were living together. Politicians, because they wanted power, both sides, not one side, both are equally responsible. That's why partition took place. So when I went to Bengal to study, to research, I realized there are big pockets over there, huge geographical areas over there, where still the same communal violence and politics is taking place. That's why you say, that's why you see the elections of Bengal is the most violent election, the panchayat elections you can read. The people did not even contest, they were elected because there was so much of violence. Even now, Murshidabad riots, you have seen what happened. So that's what I wanted to study, that why this politics is taking place even now. Okay, and what is the reason behind that? Can you believe it? We finished shooting the film in November, December 2024. Okay, we finished editing because I was editing then and there every day online. We finished editing on February 7th. And we shot Murshidabad riots in November, December. Reason, the way it happened, whatever we shot in November, December, exactly the same thing took place in April 2025.
Okay.
5-6 months later. Which means I have some understanding of that place. It's not that I'm just any filmmaker making things for the effect. I'm very responsible toward this film. So we understand what's happening there. And same politics, same methodology is taking place there. Partition happened because there was a design. There are two kinds of demography changes.
Right.
One is a natural demography change. There are lots of Bengalis and Bangladeshis live. There is a slum here and they come and work. The maid servants come and work. And lots of flyovers are being made. Metro is being made. So a lot of Biharis come and they make their own colonies and localities. That is a natural demography change. Another demography change is where the government's state power creates it to create loyal vote banks. In Bengal, illegal immigrants are given Aadhaar cards. This is a fact. I mean, so people have to research. You'll find thousands and thousands of articles on it from left side also, right side also, and centrists also. They are given fake Aadhaar cards, ID cards, voter cards, blah, 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 blah. And then they are converted into loyal vote banks and they also become extortionists on behalf of the ruling party. That's how the politics works in Bengal. Same thing ditto used to happen in Kashmir.
Right.
Okay. Kashmir on the border has a radicalized POK and Pakistan. Now, in last few years, we have a radicalized Bangladesh on this side. These young children who are extra, they go on the border, they learn how to make bombs and they come back. Then they join the party. They are called Tolabaj in Bengal. So that's why it started with the present time, because the political hangover of the partition still is there in Bengal.
So the opening
Yeah,
of your trailer.
yeah.
We were talking about that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I opened it like that. It's happening now, and this is exactly what happened.
What
in the
happened
past.
then? You say that the Kashmir files, Tashkent files, and Bengal files, there are a trilogy, and that this is the final chapter of the trilogy. What is the thread that links them in your mind?
Okay, in 2012, I was sitting in a government office for some case. I had got stuck in income tax. I was sitting there, and every time you were saying, "Sir, आपकी file नहीं मिल रही, आप file का ये है, वो file आगे बढ़ा दिए." So I started hating that word file, and then file in my mind became like something which covers up things, and it basically against we the people of India. And I was sitting there with this guy. There are 3 lions behind him, the emblem of India. And I was waiting on the sofa like this, and he's talking to other people one by one, and there are 5 more people sitting over there. And I've been sitting there. I have a creative mind. I keep thinking and visualizing logic. So I said, why have we selected these 3 lions as our emblem? Why not a beautiful peacock or a lotus or yoga or some spiritual kind of thing? We call ourselves a spiritual country. Anything we could have picked up, a bow and arrow of Ram and Krishna and all that. Why not a motif from Gita or Hindu-Muslim unity? Something. But why these 3 lions? Why lions? What is the meaning of that? If Ashoka Chakra, then take the chakra that is on the flag. That should have been the emblem of India. Okay, it represents different. So I said, maybe these lions we have picked up because they are protecting the democracy. If they are protecting the democracy, what are they protecting? I'm telling you exactly how my mind was working.
Right.
So I said, what are the most important things for a democracy to survive? So I said, the most important thing, the pillar of democracy is truth. Because without truth, there is no justice. What happens in dictatorship? There is no truth. And only when you have truth and justice, you have life. So your right to life, dignity of life, value of life depends on these 2 other lions. So there are 3 lions. So I came and told Pallavi that this is what I want to make. This was 2012. So I said, I'll make a trilogy. She said, are you stupid? Nobody has made, very few directors have made trilogy. It's a very difficult thing because times keep changing. How will you, okay, like Ramu has, you can say, you make 3 mafia films, it's a trilogy, you can say that.
Yeah.
But nobody announced that I am going to make these 3 trilogy and nothing else. Now it's 2025 now, so almost 13 years gone by. So first film I made, Right to Truth. And that was, so I said, let's but pick up something which is so huge that impacts the people and make them understand. So we said, if we do not know the truth of the controversial death of the 2nd Prime Minister of India, how will a common man know truth about his own father's death? Then second, we picked up justice. We said right to justice. In the Kashmir files, I studied that after 35 years, if the native citizens have not found justice, okay, then how will a common man find justice? Then came the question of life. Now, in Bengal, there you can ask any Bengali, go to Calcutta, interview hundreds and people, and they will tell you we have no right to life. And also in India, a common citizen does not have right to life, dignity of life or value of life. If you want to see how people board the local trains and how people are walking on footpaths, falling down when monsoon happens. So there is no value of life in our country. There is no dignity of life. If there was a dignity of life, the most common words in India are Malik, Bade Sahab, My Baap, correct? When somebody with authority comes, people go like this and they stand up. When a girl is growing up, the minute she's 13, 14, parents say, walk like this, take a chunni, So, which means there is no dignity of life, there is no dignity of labor, and there is no right to life. If you go out from here just now and there is some communal violence takes place, if God forbid, something happens to your family, will never ever find this thing. But the Constitution promises right to life. It says it's the state's responsibility to protect your life, But do you think anybody protects your life here? Nobody protects your life. So we said make it on right to life, and Bengal, as I studied, is the most vulnerable. Kashmir I had already made, so there was no point making it again. So I said Bengal it's a warning for the future that Bengal is also going on Kashmir, this thing. And partition time, we had no right to life. 1200 years, Indians had no right to life. It said dogs and Indians not allowed. You must see in the film, I've used I got the real plaques from Calcutta and polished them and reinstated them, and we have used them. Dogs, in the hierarchy, dogs come first, Indians came. During Mughal period also, they could have killed anybody, hang anybody, Bhagat Singh or anybody. So nobody had any right to life. And do we have right to life now? No. Still anybody can pick up anyone, you can put anybody behind the bar. Any government, I'm not saying any one government, any government, that's how broken our system is. That's why right to life. So this trilogy I had announced first. If you read all my interviews, I always said I'll make 3 films: Right to Truth, Right to Justice, Right to Life. Right to Life I had said even during Tashkent Files. So that's how it's a well announced and planned trilogy.
With regard to the Bengal Files, when you were doing your research, did you watch Kamal Hassan's Hey Ram?
Yes.
What did you think about the representation there?
It's a big scale film, and there are stars in it. The minute you have stars and big scale film you make, the first thing is you have to, I won't say appease that maybe, but in political film you can say, you have to cater to lots of masses from cross section, and therefore you make a film at a very common denominator level, so that it's everybody understands, comprehensible and all that. That's why I don't care much about these films. And they are dramatic. So these are big music, big drama, big marketing. I make very raw, very to the point, truthful. In my film, you'll see I showed real newspapers, real documents, all kinds of things. And also my film has 2 arguments going on. Hey Ram did not have 2 arguments going on. My film has 2 arguments going on. So my focus is very different. Kamal Hassan's film had a very different. It was a good film. He made a brilliant film. How honest and how sincere, I wouldn't like to comment on that at this stage, because somebody will take one clip from your interview and they will just come and lynch me.
So when you call this film in the trailer, it says cinematic masterpiece. Shouldn't is that a quote that you're giving?
No, these are all people who have seen film in US. These are their
films. Because there was not any attribution.
See, in Kashmir Files, they had put that audience review this thing. This time it was a mistake that asterisk somehow got this thing because of a lot of hassle. I wasn't here. It got released in my absence and all that. But everything you have seen is more or less audience reactions.
Right. So you're saying that this, even though it says that Hindu genocide in the trailer, you view this as an Indian tragedy.
Of course. But what is India? At that time, what was India in 1947?
It was Hindus and Muslims, right?
Right. Okay. So it was we the people of Bharat.
No.
So it's a tragedy of we the people of Bharat. And we the people of Bharat includes everybody who has been living here for thousands of years. Okay, so it was our tragedy, Indian tragedy. Obviously, it was an Indian tragedy. But if there's a Hindu genocide, then obviously it's a Hindu tragedy. Because Jews were killed in Germany, so it doesn't make it a German tragedy, right? It was a Jew tragedy at the end of it. If blacks were slaves in the West, it was a black tragedy. This film, see, I'm making film on Hindu history because I understand it best. It does not mean that the other history doesn't exist. It definitely exists. I acknowledge it. In Kashmir, yes, the other history also exists. I totally acknowledge it. But I cannot make it because I'm not competent enough to understand those nuances, those emotions, those pain, those things. Yes, you give me 5 years to study it, research it, maybe I'll do it. But still, it will be like a second-hand copy. I can make a film on Islamic history or Christian history intellectually. But Hindu history, I can make actually.
Emotionally.
Actually. Means I actually can make it because the way I feel, I can express it.
Right.
I may not be able to feel exact the same about falling of the Roman Empire, but I feel about the falling of Shivaji's empire, I feel it differently. So if I have to make an honest, sincere film, and I'm making Hindu history, and I know people create controversy because these days it's difficult to say Hindu or Muslim. I don't know why people are so sensitive when it is the most spoken thing. You stop Hindu-Muslim divide, I'll stop making films. If there were no partition, If there was no divide in Bengal, today's Bengal on Hindu and Muslim lines, I won't make that film. In Tamil Nadu, they make on Brahmin and Dalit thing. Nobody asks them, why are you making these kind of films? Why are you always, why are you not making films on Brahmins? What they see, they make. Okay, and let's accept it because you are a good, intelligent person who understands cinema. I don't talk like this with any other journalist because people don't even understand what I'm saying. But you have to understand this thing. This must stop. This communal conflict in India must stop. This is the reason why we are not being able to go forward. We take 2 steps forward, this communal politics pulls us 4 steps backwards. And it hurts me. So I am speaking from the point of view I think I can speak from, not from the other point of view.
What is the difficulty in? We leave the story aside. You research, you build a screenplay, you kind of go on the sets, right? What is the difficulty, the technical difficulties in making a film like this?
In India, it's next to impossible. I don't know how I pulled it through. My first difficulty was I'm making a film called The Bengal Files, which is about the pain, trauma, history of Bengal, and I'm not allowed to shoot in Bengal. So political challenge is the biggest challenge in this country. Second thing is, we are not a country which reinstates, restores our heritage. So how do you get those props? Where do you get those cars from? Where do you get those kind of costumes? But Veera, who's a national award-winning costume designer, she took a lot of pain, went to gullies and villages in Bengal, studied, researched. She got real, and I was insisting that I don't want something which looks like that. It's like, I want real weather, not feels like weather. Get me the real thing. So she did that. Rajat Podar, who was our production designer, he died just 2 days before the shooting began. He was a Bengali. So he also took a lot of pain in recreating. So we recreated Calcutta here, we recreated Noakhali, we made huge cities. People came to visit, they actually thought they were inside the city. So after a long time, we recreated those sets. But it was technically it's very challenging. Second, India's biggest challenge is VFX. Okay, VFX, we all know how to create fire, shire and all those things. Realism, where VFX are invisible, it's very difficult. That's my personal, I know a lot of people may not like this. That's a big challenge, and especially if you are a small budget. And my biggest challenge is money. Okay, nobody backs our films until the last minute. So whatever money we earn from Kashmir, we have put into this. In fact, much more, we are all in with this film. All in. Means after this, I don't know what's going to happen to me. So it's very difficult because our ambition is to create something which is 100 crores and you have very small money. So every single penny we have to look after, and we have to do it faster so that number of days are less. So that's very challenging. And after that, marketing these films are very difficult. Because there are no stars. If you have stars, then all the media is interested in you. That also I can live with. My biggest problem is that today, no journalist, no media, nobody is interested in discussing the film with you. So cinema gets lost, which is the most evolved art form, that gets lost. It's like if you go to Zakir Hussein's concert and you don't even discuss his tabla, you discuss his hair locks, That's what you do. Or you go to some great somebody's performance and you don't talk about the dance and you start talking about their earrings and stuff like that, or gossips and stuff. But we are living in a time of gossip. So I focus only on my film. I talk only about my film. I try, but that's a very big challenge for me and it pains me a lot.
So when you look at your evolution as a filmmaker, how do you see that?
Okay, so 3 steps. Number 1, when I came to making films, I was an advertising filmmaker. I was pushed into making films and I had no idea about how this industry functions, and I was not a young boy. So I had no ambition, so I never studied this industry. And as an advertising person, I had chip on my shoulder, filmy people. But that's how chocolate came. So you see a lot of advertising influence on that film, styling and all those kind of things. So Chocolate and Goal and Hate Story, these 3 films I made.
Yeah.
Zid and Jununiyat I left midway, so I never finished them. But after these 3 films, I realized these are very easy storytellings. They don't say any truth. I'm making films which people want to hear. Like all these fake sadhu babas and hakims and mullahs and all that. If you go and say, sir, I have got cancer, what to do? They'll say, acha, in the morning you start saying 3, 4, 7 or start sleeping facing north. These are easy answers. People do that also.
Yeah.
साहब मेरे बच्चा नहीं पैदा हो रहा है, अच्छा एक काम करो, सुबह उठ के ऐसा ऐसा कुछ कर दिया करो और बच्चा हो जाएगा. These are easy answers. Politicians also do that. Okay, give easy answers. Okay, I will do this. They also know. The same thing Bollywood films do, most of the films. They give easy answers to people. Everything is fine, nice, song, dance. These are variety shows. So I said, am I going to spend all my time telling these stories? And also, my film is as good and as bad as the star of the film. Nobody will ever know who's the author behind it. They will always say, just John Abraham's film, Anil Kapoor's film, Shah Rukh Khan's film. That's how it will be known as. And if the audience is not liking them, they will hate me also. So what do I do? So I said, now I'm going to make films about themes which I understand the best, which only I can tell, nobody, which has only my signature, and I'm going to tell uncomfortable truths. So I started with Buddha in a Traffic Jam. So I struggled a lot with this film. Then Tashkent Files I struggled, Kashmir Files I struggled. We are struggling now also. A lot of people may think we are not, but I know how I'm struggling with money. Just before you came, I mean, we were thinking how to borrow some money from somewhere so that we can fly to Delhi and market the film and do things like that. I have with these three films, Tashkent, Kashmir, especially after Kashmir, I have become a different person, and my family, friends, everybody acknowledge. I have lot and lot of empathy in my mind, in my heart now. I can't see people with pain. I get very pained, and I became very. I have become very earth conscious person, and I think this is the only earth which is the best planet, and we are human beings. We can think, we can logic out things, we can feel, and we have art, cinema. Why are we destroying everything? And that took me towards spirituality. That's why you'll find in Kashmir Files also, in this film, you'll find if you are a smart person, you can see a lot of nuanced spirituality in it. The music, kind of music I have used in this. The music I have used is a baul music, which is sung by Parvati Baul. Baul is basically in worship of Krishna, which takes you internalize, you find your inner voice. Exactly what meditation does to you. So it's a meditative music. So that way I would say I've become more spiritual, and I have, that's all. And I've cut down all my needs. I have no needs anymore, so I have no fear of.
You have the need to make cinema.
Only cinema, that's it. I have no need.
When you have a huge subject like this, and when you have, let's say, OTT platforms that allow mini-series to be made, would it be easier to put all your research into like a multi-episode series rather than, let's say, a 2.5 hour film?
I'm trained as a filmmaker from 35mm, number one, so I love this. Okay. Then the second thing is OTT series, then I become a vendor. They're commissioned by this thing. They dictate what has to be done. Even director, writer's name, nobody knows. You take best of the series, nobody knows who made them. You know, there's no respect for director or writer. There is a showrunner, then there's an episode director. Who is making it? Even I don't know. Okay, and second thing, I don't watch them seriously. Then how do I expect the audience to watch them seriously? I stop them anytime. I get up anytime. So if you go to my Netflix, you'll find everything I have left after 10 minutes or one episode or two episodes. I don't know. Incompleted. Then why do I care? But here, when you come to cinema hall, even if there is a limited audience, when they buy ticket, they surrender themselves in the dark room to the storytelling. If your story is gripping, then they immediately get involved. Second thing is the kind of impact. I call my cinema truth cinema, impact cinema. The kind of impact my films can make, OTT can never ever make. Nobody has changed or impacted after seeing any OTT series.
You view cinema as an agent of change.
Of course, the kind of cinema I'm making, yes.
Yeah.
Both ways. You make bad cinema, you'll change society into a bad society.
When you look back at Gandhi, because a lot of people, have this thing. How do you see him? Do you see him as how do you see him?
Okay.
Because when I asked you this, because the journey of Heram is one of the things that has really impacted me, because when I watched that film, it was about a single man who thought that Gandhi was responsible for a lot of the things that happened in Kolkata, and including the murder of his wife, and that non-violence was wrong. And then slowly, as he started doing something, he realized that he came to a realization. Now, that's a fictional story, and that's what it was. So I wanted to know, because you've done so much research on the subject, and you in that particular period, I wanted to know your thoughts.
Okay, so there's a secret I'll tell you. I've never told anybody this. I'm a son of a Gandhian,
Okay.
and I funded my college education in Delhi came from the debates and the debating competition. I used to go every year to Sevagram, which is Gandhi's ashram, and it was Jamna Lal Bajaj series of this thing, and the prize money used to be 10,001 rupees. I won it for almost 3-4 years. So whatever money I got from there I financed my studies in Delhi. And I grew up reading my autobiography of Gandhi, and I till date in Hindi I get from Vinoba Bhave's ashram. I read every edition of that. Nobody buys it anymore. I buy it, and read it. So I have studied Gandhi a lot, and I have deep respect for Gandhi as a person. I don't think there has been anybody like Gandhi ever born in last 100 years, definitely 200 years. What he preached, he practiced. He genuinely believed that Hindu-Muslim unity will save us from partition. He genuinely believed. It's not that it was a drama or anything like that. I don't believe that. But even great people can take certain policy decisions which in retrospect, if you look at them, are very dangerous and harmful. We don't know if today's politicians, what they are doing, how 100 years later people are going to look at them. I mean, we don't know. So Gandhi took a couple of wrong decisions. Number one, his decision to support Khilafat movement was, I think, absolutely wrong. Okay, he was also an immature politician at that time. He had just come to India in 2020. Lokman Tilak died in 21. He had to represent, and he supported Khilafat. When he supported Khilafat, in Kerala, in Malabar, then the Muslims, Moplas of that thing, they thought he's talking about Muslim Swaraj. It became a fight for Muslim Swaraj, which British took advantage of, and that's how two-nation theory became stronger and stronger. Do you know something? When Gandhi supported Khilafat, who was the first person to oppose it? Jinnah. Jinnah resigned from Congress because Gandhi's support to Khilafat. He said Gandhi has introduced toxicity in Indian politics, and India will have to pay a very big price for this, and this will never ever be solved. And Gandhi's way is a wrong way, my way is the right way, because mine is the constitutional way, and therefore I resigned from the Congress. He resigned from the Congress and left India, and he went to London forever. But when two-nation theory became so powerful, he came back again, and then he demanded Pakistan. Do you know that?
I don't know this.
This is a fact, recorded fact. I shot that scene also, but then I deleted it. I said I'll keep it for the second part. So that's why I've shot that scene. The film was supposed to open with that scene, Gandhi and Jinnah conflict at Nagpur Adhiveshan. But I took it out. I started film differently now. I will use it in the second part. This is a fact. And these are his quote unquote, his words in his own biography. Gandhi took a couple of wrong decisions. Gandhi trusted a couple of wrong decisions. Third thing, Gandhi, after Gandhi's assassination, Congress put him on such a pedestal that everybody started thinking that the entire freedom movement was run by Gandhi, which is wrong. Gandhi resigned from politics. Last couple of decades, he spent as a social worker. And nobody used to listen to Gandhi. Gandhi has also written himself that I have become an old man, nobody listens to me in Congress. And that's why Mountbatten informed him after Congress took a decision of partition, Gandhi was not even consulted. So Gandhi at that time was like Margdarshak Mandal, like we had recently. He was one of those who were there as ki haan, Babuji ke paunch chhoone, but nobody consults him. I think Gandhi was one of the greatest men ever born, but Gandhi took some wrong decisions for which country had to pay a price.
What's next for Vivek Agnihotri?
I have two choices. One, I can continue with the second part depending on what this film does to us. I mean, if it gives up even little money, I can make film even 5-6 crores also. I have no problems. I can make it 50 crores.
Do you mind telling us how much this cost?
This is, we made Kashmir Files in 15 crores. We made 30 crores out of that. We invested more than 30 crores in this film. Rest of it we have borrowed and we have to still pay some money. So yes, it's.
Right. So you might either make part 2 or what is the other option?
I'm committed to make Mahabharat. You know, Dr. S.L. Bhairappa from Mysore, okay, that one of the greatest legendary Kannada writers. He's 95 years old. He has written some amazing books. So for 17 years, he researched Mahabharat, and he said, so he has written a historical version of Mahabharat, not the miraculous. So he calls his own interpretation Mahabharat without miracles. It's called Parv.
Oh.
Yeah, Parv. It's one of the most respected, highly acclaimed book, and I think it's one of the finest interpretations of Mahabharat I have come across. The 11,000 interpretations is one of the best. So he called me and he gave me the rights to make that. I went to Mysore.
How old is this book?
It's pretty old, very old, yeah. But you ask any person Kannada, ask anybody.
Okay, because
Parv.
I mean, yeah.
Parv, you should ask, yeah. I announced it 2 years back. I went to Mysore, we launched it. Prakash Belavade made a play out of it. It's a 7, 8, 9 hour play. Starts at 9 in the morning, ends at 7 o'clock with 5 intervals. I asked him to do it in English in Bangalore for me. He did it. Believe you me, when the play started, this Parv, after 15 minutes, people start crying until the end. Your eyes are swollen and their shirt and like that. You know, my eyes were swollen. It's not because it's a painful story, because it's such a wonderful story, I can't tell you. It makes you probe yourself. It's such a, Mahabharata itself is a great epic. So if in this lifetime I can make it, and if I can make Mahabharata, then I will make nothing. I'll retire, because then nothing else will be left to be told.
I hope you get to make it, because I think the epics are something that are always interesting, and right now there's a Ramayana being made, and I hope that there's
that's fantastical, all VFX and all that. I don't want to. I want to make a very real,
like
raw,
Discovery of India, like Benegal's.
Yeah, I want to make a historical account, like it was a history, not people jumping and flying. I'm not anti-gravity person. I'm a very gravitational person. So
May you stay grounded. Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you.
Mritu towels from Ramraj, premium cotton and bamboo towels. Super soft, super absorbent.
Darling, Mobile Legging Superstar.
INDICUS Photo, durable exterior paint with Duro color technology.